Welcome to Transcendence, Art and Spirituality Summit. I'm your host, Larissa Russell, and I'm so excited to have with me now Tammy Roth. So welcome, Tammy.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to have you, I have to say. So for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I spent most of my career, professional life as a psychotherapist, and just over the past probably 4 or 5 years, I realized that all the things I got really excited about, I had always kind of used that as a hobby. And one day it just hit me. It's like, this is the juiciest part of what I do. And I just really let go of the psychotherapy paradigm and became what I now call a soul note coach, which is just helping guide people to get in touch with the deepest aspects of their soul's calling.
Yeah. And I love that, because I think if we can just step into that, oh my goodness, it just opens up so many things in our life. And yes, so I love that you do that. What would you say you do for your own spiritual well-being?
I feel like I kind of live my life for my spiritual well-being. Like I really have created a life that is just so beautiful. I do what I love for a living. I live in a very, like the most recent big change is moving out of Nashville, Tennessee, which was very busy and congested. And I live in a very remote part of Florida now. So just really immersed in nature. Just spending time doing things I love. And then I have my own, my daily spiritual practice, which is everything from meditation, yoga, painting, being in nature, oracle cards, just all the things.
Because it takes a little bit of this and a little bit of that, I find. There's no one way, right? There's no one thing. Yeah, absolutely. So then how would you say that spirit shows up in your creative process?
I feel really fortunate that I've never had any professional training. And so I haven't had to get out of my conditioned creative training. I really stepped into creativity through a spiritual lens. So it's always been there. So for me, it's about, I guess I would say it's spirit manifesting on the canvas for me. And I feel like the paintings speak to me. They guide me, that I'm having a conversation with my soul with the canvas. So for me, it's not so much about creating a piece of art. It's about a relationship with the energy of creativity.
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to remember, right? It's not that finished piece of art. When we're doing healing work with creativity, it's about the process. It's about what we're going through. It's what we're allowing in. And I think that's so important. So important. Yeah. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're sharing today?
Yes. So one of the things that I'm most passionate about in guiding people is helping them transcend addiction. And addiction is a pretty loaded word. So I would say my definition of addiction is anything that gets in that blocks the creative life force from flowing through your life. And we all have those kind of things that it's like, oh, I keep telling myself I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to, and we keep breaking promises to ourselves. So that can be anything from substances to relationships to, one of the biggest addictions of all is screen time. And guilty. So what I'm sharing is how to transcend addiction by focusing on raising your frequency, raising your vibration, focusing on what you want to create in your life instead of focusing on the addiction. And I've spent years working in addiction treatment, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. So I know this other paradigm of, really trying to focusing on what's wrong. And that can really, that can be a really hard journey. And so the class that I created is about tapping into it. It guides you through like really listening to what your soul is calling for, and then trying to capture that on the canvas through energy or symbol or whatever comes through, and then using that piece of creativity to continue dialoguing with. And that doesn't mean that by painting one painting, you're going to transcend addiction. It's not one and done, but this is a taste of a different way of doing it.
I love that, because I think it's so important. We often think of addictions as, yes, you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict, but I mean, every day of food, screen time, you know, all those things, like you said, that we say to ourselves, we're not going to do anymore, right? Wasting time, not focusing, whatever it is. And so I think this is an amazing subject. So I look forward to doing this one, and we will meet you in there.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.